My siblings excluded me from family events for 8 years. Then I bought a house in cash, the same neighborhood my brother had been priced out of. The group chat I'd been blocked from suddenly added me back. Part 1. Then I bought a house in cash, the same neighborhood my brother had been priced out of. The group chat I'd been blocked from suddenly added me back. Let me tell you exactly what 8 years of being the family ghost looks like, because the version where I just got added back is the kind of casual phrasing that doesn't capture what really happened. My name is Theo. I'm 36. I'm the middle of 3 siblings. My older brother is Curtis, 39. My younger sister is Lila, 33. We grew up in a house in suburban Massachusetts, in a family that prided itself on being close, which, in my family, was code for enmeshed in a way that punished anyone who tried to leave. The exclusion didn't start with a fight. There was no fight. There was, instead, a slow, deliberate freeze that began the year I turned 28 and made what my mother called, in a single sharp phone call, the wrong choice for this family. The wrong choice was that I had moved to Seattle for a job. The job was a senior software engineering role at a company that, at the time, was paying me almost 3 times what I had been making in Boston. It was a 4-year-old startup with a strange name and a CEO who had personally flown out to recruit me. I had told my parents about it over Sunday dinner. I had explained the offer. I had told them I had 2 weeks to decide. My mother put down her fork. My father looked at the ceiling. Curtis snorted into his wine glass and said, "Cool, so you're just bailing on us." That was the first sentence of the next 8 years. Lila, who had always followed Curtis's lead the way a small fish follows a slightly larger fish, said nothing. But she stopped responding to my texts within a month. I moved to Seattle anyway. The startup, as you may have guessed by now, was not a normal startup. The CEO who had flown out to recruit me had a track record of 3 previous successful exits. The product was solid. The team was small but exceptional. I was employee number 31. By the time I turned 30, I was a senior engineering manager. By the time I turned 32, I was a director. By the time I turned 34, the company sold to one of the largest tech firms in the world for 9 figures. My equity package vested in full at the close of the deal. I did not announce this to anyone in my family. I did not post about it. I did not change my Instagram bio. I did not buy a Tesla. I drove the same 2017 Honda Civic I had bought used in 2019. I lived in the same 1-bedroom apartment in Capitol Hill that I had moved into 3 years earlier. I want to make this clear, because the family lore eventually became Theo got rich and forgot us. I did not forget them. They had already forgotten me. Let me give you the timeline of the exclusion, in order, so you understand the shape of it. Year 1, age 28, Mom invites the whole family to Cape Cod for the 4th of July. I find out about it from a Facebook post. Curtis tags everyone in. I am not in the photo. I am not invited. When I call my mother, she says, "Oh, honey, we just figured the flight would be too much for you. We didn't want to put pressure on you." Year 2, age 29, I fly home for Christmas. I have planned this trip for 3 months. I arrive at the house. The dining table is set for 4. My mother, looking flustered, sets a 5th plate. She tells me, with a small laugh, "I'm sorry, sweetie, I genuinely forgot you said you were coming." Curtis does not look up from his phone. Year 3, age 30, Lila gets engaged. I find out via Instagram. I send her a text saying congratulations. She replies, "Thank you," 2 hearts emoji, and nothing else. I am not invited to the engagement party. I assume I will be invited to the wedding. The wedding is small, she explains in a group text I am not on but that my cousin forwards me, just immediate family and very close friends. I find out, by counting heads in the wedding photos, that the bride's immediate family included her 2 future sisters-in-law from her fiancé's side, but not her actual brother. Year 4, age 31, my father has a minor heart attack. Curtis calls me. He says, "He's fine, but I figured you'd want to know." I ask if I should fly home. He says, "Don't bother, we've got it." I send flowers. The flowers are received. There is no follow-up call. Year 5, age 32, I am promoted to director. I tell my parents on a phone call. My mother says, "That's nice, honey." My father, in the background, says, "When are you going to come home, Theo? Your mother misses you." I had been home 7 times in 5 years. They had not visited me once. Year 6, age 33, my niece is born, Curtis's first kid. I find out 3 days later, from a Facebook photo. Curtis has tagged everyone in the family except me. When I text him, he replies, "Sorry man, swamped. We'll send pics when things calm down." He does not. Year 7, age 34, the company is sold. I am, though my family does not know this, set financially for life, in a way that is hard to fully explain to people who have not lived through a sudden, life-altering equity event. I sit in my apartment in Capitol Hill the day the deal closes, look at the wire confirmation in my bank app, close my laptop, and walk to the corner bodega to buy a frozen pizza. I eat the pizza alone. I do not call my family. They do not call me. It is a Wednesday in June. Year 8, age 35, my mother has knee replacement surgery. I find out from my Aunt Pauline, who calls me to ask why I am the only one not in the group chat coordinating Mom's recovery. I do not know about the group chat. Curtis, it turns out, has created a family group chat 14 months earlier and has not added me. Lila has not added me either. Pauline tells me, gently, with the careful voice of a person delivering information they suspect will land badly, that the chat has been active that entire time. Birthdays. Holidays. Photos of the niece I have still never met. I thank Pauline. I do not call Curtis. I do not call Lila. I do not call my mother. I sit at my desk. I look out the window of my Capitol Hill apartment. I watch a man walk a small white dog past my building, and I make a decision. I had been thinking, for about 2 years, about buying a house. I had been mostly thinking about Seattle. But that night, after the call with Pauline, I opened Zillow and I typed, into the search bar, the name of the town in Massachusetts where I grew up. Specifically, the neighborhood where Curtis lived. The neighborhood is called Linden Hill. It is the kind of neighborhood my parents drove through when I was a kid and pointed at and said things like, "That's where the Carmody family lives, they're in pharmaceuticals." It is old money, then new money chasing old money, then a recent wave of tech and finance buyers pricing out everyone who had grown up nearby. Curtis had been complaining about the neighborhood for a decade. He lived 3 towns over, in a smaller, less desirable suburb, in a house he and his wife had stretched to afford. He had told my mother, at every Sunday dinner I was apparently no longer invited to, that he was going to get into Linden Hill someday, just watch.